Hello flosstube, and welcome to my first flosstube video. My name is Jackie and my page is Cross My Stitches. You can also find me on Instagram under Cross My Stitches. I have been cross stitching since 1980, let's say 80, 81. I did it for multiple years, and then when my son was born in 2000, I put my cross stitching aside. I was taking care of my son. I was really into photography, and I started getting into scrapbooking and paper crafting. So I did that for a lot of years, made a lot of scrapbooks for my son, and he is now 17 and doesn't want his picture taken anymore, so I have nothing to scrapbook. So I found an old bag of mine, and I decided, and I opened it up, and it was an old project bag, and it had a project that was half finished, and I said, you know, I really want to finish that project. And that's what got me started back into cross stitch again. And that's been about a year now. And so I have the project with me that I finished. I don't know what I did with it. It was a Jeremiah Junction. It was in a magazine. And I'll show you what it looks like now. So this is the project that I did. Sorry about the glare. It says, I hate dirty words, housework is for the birds. It also had writing all over it that said the different household chores. I decided not to put those on there. But this is what got me back into cross stitching again. So that hangs in my living room wall. And once I got back into cross stitch, I didn't have any other supplies. I had moved several times and divorced, and the supplies seemed to have disappeared, so I had to start all over again. So I started buying a lot of supplies, and my taste is very eclectic. I like different things. I will tell you right now that I am not a politically correct person. I say what I feel, and I love this country, and I love patriotic. So I have a lot of patriotic designs that I want to do, and a lot of different styles of designs that I want to do. Besides that one, that was a finish, I also have completed Lizzie Kate's Claire OHare. Now, I'm not a big fan of cutesy kind of patterns. I'm mostly more the detail, the more, I like a little bit of prim, I like a little bit of the nature and stuff, but I really love some of Lizzie Kate's. I love the wording ones. And I love the stand-ups. When I saw the stand-ups, I said, oh, I have to get those stand-ups. I know they were out of print, but I started hunting them down. So that's Claire OHare. So I'll show you what she looks like finished. I'm trying to get something to put it on so you can see. So there she is, Miss Claire OHare. She came out just beautiful. I can't wait to finish her. I have plans on doing all the stand-ups. I do have a majority of them at this point, so I'll be working on those. Other things that I love are Prairie Schooler. I've always loved Prairie Schooler. When I got back into stitching last year, I started collecting Prairie Schooler again, especially the Santas. I really love the Santas. I watch Vanna. I love Vanna. Hi Vanna, love you. And loved her Prairie Schooler tree with all the Santas on it. So I started collecting all the little cards, like this one. They're, I think they're from 1984 to last year, 2017, and I've got them all collected, I think, except for 1994 and 1996. But this is what they look like finished. This is the first one that I finished. Put it on the side here. The first one that I finished, which is the 2002 Santa, it's done on 36 count flax linen, and this one happens to be 1/1. And after I had finished it, I wanted to see, I was surprised because 36 count usually can't do 1/2. You usually can't do 2/2 on 36 count, but I didn't think the coverage was great. So I turned around and I did one 2/2. And I really liked the coverage better. So the rest of them will be done 2/2 like this one. So that's one, and then this is the last one that I finished so far. and I think these are just adorable. I can't wait to finish them as ornaments and get them on a tree. So I have those that I'm working on. I also have, I'm trying to think, I have an old finish to show you, besides the one I just finished. I don't know how far a lot of you go back, but like I said, I started back in 1981. Internet really wasn't around then. When it first came out, we were communicating on something called Prodigy, and AOL came along. And stitchers used to get together and do a stitch along. And the stitch alongs back then were, you picked a style. This one happens to be Christmas, I'm going to show you. And you got with a group of ladies and you mailed off your package to each person, and it went in a round robin, they called it, and each person would stitch on it for you. So this is one of them that I did back then, and I want to say that this might be 1992. I think it's got some dates on it here, 1992. And this is a Christmas one that got passed around. Make sure you can see it. From 1992, and I still have it. Some of my cross stitch, I still have my finished pieces that were not FFO'd. So I just wanted to share that. That's what we used to do way back before internet really got lively. Let's see. So what am I working on? I am working on a couple of things. One of the pieces that I'm working on is, I just lost all my stuff. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. One of the things that I'm working on is Birdbath by Charlie Harper. And I've always loved this piece. I never had it. And then when I watched Helen D on her video, she had it in the background, and I'm like, oh my God, I really need to get that piece. I love cardinals, and I want to do that. So I finally found one. I had posted on the stash groups that I was looking for it, and a nice woman, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, contacted me and said she had the pattern, and that was from a friend that had passed away, and she wanted to pass it on to me, and she did. She gifted me with that pattern. I was so thrilled. So this is where I'm at with the Birdbath, and I do send her updates as to where I'm at with it because I want her to see it finished. But I've got the bath pretty much done, and I'm starting on the leaves on the pattern. So absolutely love this. So glad to have it and be working on that. I am also working on another Jeremiah Junction, which I hunted this down right after I finished the first Jeremiah Junction, which is Birdwatcher. And the Birdbath I am doing on a 28 count steel gray linen. This one I am doing on a 32 count sky even weave. And I've got quite a bit of it completed. And let's see if I can get this up. And it's coming out so cute. I just love it. I love watching the birds and stuff. And so, let me pull it back a little. So it's getting there. It's really adorable. I have to finish the housing on the other half, and it will be done. And I can't wait. I've been trying to hunt down a frame, going to the thrift stores and stuff, and trying to find a frame for it. So I'll keep doing that. I am also working on, as I said, I am very patriotic, so I am working on the Early Americans. That is through Little House Needleworks. This one is the fourth in the series. This one I haven't started yet, but is the next on my list to start on this particular project. I am, let's see, I have 3 completed so far. There it is, and I'm using Vonna Pfeiffer's border. I love the border. This is done on a 32 count sand even weave, and I did change out the colors, the reds and the blues, because I felt like they weren't patriotic enough, so I did change the red to the cherry cobbler, and I changed the blue to the blacksmith blue. So I love, love, love this pattern, and I really need to start that next part of it and get it rolling so I can get this finished. I do like to, in between all of this, make my own project bags. So I will show you, this is the one, that my patriotic one. I watched a video, Making Life Count, I believe, Dina, and she showed how to make project bags, so I started making a ton of project bags. So this one happens to be my patriotic one, and I'll show you this one. This one is the one that my, I'm going to pull the pattern out because I don't want you to see that. This is the one that my bird watcher is in. So it's like really pretty, bright, springy colors. So I have that, and Leslie Hurley and I contacted Leslie Hurley because she was doing a lot of bags and stuff, and I said, hey, let's do a bag swap. So we did. We're in the middle of swapping right now, so I'm really excited to get hers. The one I sent her, let me see if I can grab that, hold on. Or I guess not, because I do not see the copy of it that I need. I'll have to show that on my next video. But the one I sent her was a floral one, and it was the vinyl fronted bags, because she said she doesn't have any of the vinyl fronted bags. So I sent her that. Other than that, that is what I'm working on right now. I am making Stitch Mania plans. I'll talk about that if I do another video. I'll talk about my plans and what I'm going to do. Purchases. I did make some I always make purchases because, like I said, I actually have two hobbies. I have a cross stitch hobby, and then I have a collecting of cross stitch supplies hobby. So I'm constantly buying stuff on the internet, on Stash Unload, or the other Stash Unload sites, eBay. And this is what I've purchased recently. I saw, oh my gosh, I just forgot her name. Lori. I saw Lori on her channel, Mischievous Stitches, doing a sampler that was a tapestry sampler from Pat Rogers, and I absolutely loved it. So I said, oh, I gotta track that down. So that's this piece. I can't wait to do it. I am planning on starting another Pat Rogers project, and that's already kitted and ready to go. It's probably going to be part of my Stitch Mania, so I want to add that one. I saw this. This is a patriotic design by Blue Ribbon Designs. Really love patriotic, so when I saw it, I said, oh, gotta have that, and I'm gonna stitch that one. A series of patterns that I have been trying to collect, and it also involves stand-ups, because for some reason I just love all the stand-ups, was Fancy That had put out a series of elf patterns, and when I saw those, I really liked them, and I really wanted to start them, and of course they're out of print, so I had to hunt them down. And these two I had just gotten this week. A lady contacted me. I had posted an In Search Of, and she had saw it and said that she had a couple that she wasn't going to do, and that she would sell them to me for a great price. So the first one is Santa's Workshop Elf. So love that. So cute. Done in a stand-up. And the second one is the Sleigh Keeper Elf. And these are just so adorable, so adorable. And I have one other one, but I don't know where it's at right now. I also seem to be drawn to Blackberry Lane designs lately. Their designs are very intricate, lots of color, and really adorable. This one happens to have cardinals, which, as you can see with the Birdbath, I love cardinals. So this one is a cardinal design. I was going to make this part of my Stitch Mania, but then decided it had too many colors. I didn't want to deal with that in the middle of trying to do a Stitch Mania, so I did not do that. I'm also, like I said, a lover of Prairie Schooler, and I'm always looking for the leaflets. I hate the way Hoffman has redone Prairie Schoolers into the plastic sleeves. The photocopying is really poor, it's blurry. I have bad enough vision, don't need to look at those blurry patterns. So I always, when I'm able to track down a leaflet, I will purchase it if it's reasonable. This one happens to be Prairie Birds. Really love little ornaments. I don't know why, I just have this thing for smalls. I think it's an instant gratification to try to get it done. So I don't have a ton of big things, and the few big things I do have, I in between I will do a small, make me feel like I've got something accomplished, and then go back to the big ones. So I have purchased that. The other designer that I've just recently started to really love is Samsara. Now, I said before that I'm not a cutesy type stitcher. I'm really not. But there's certain designs in Samsara that I love, and when I see them, I grab them. So anything patriotic. This is Samsara patriotic design. I said, love that, gotta have it. Love the colors, love how bright it is, and of course it has the flag, so I have to have that. And then I purchased Scurry and Squirrel, and isn't that adorable? Look at that squirrel on that, I don't know if it's a sled or it's a skateboard or what it is, with the little wagon. I love that. It is adorable. And then anything 3D. I really seem to like a lot of 3D, hence the stand-ups, stitching. And the corn is just adorable. And I can't wait to stitch the corn and put those out. So that's that. So, oh, I did purchase one other thing I wanted to show you. Doing Stitch Mania, I realized that I have to keep organized. I do have the cross stitch app, and it's great, but I really wanted a binder to put my stuff in, to keep track of what it was. So I went and bought a mini binder. It's a 8.5 by 5.5 binder, and I made a cover for it. So you can find tutorials on YouTube to make a cover for a binder. I put a piece of rubber band so it would be closed. And then I started figuring out I can make my own pages. Okay, I can use Excel, I can use Word, and I can do my own. And I started doing it, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't get it just the way I wanted. I was fidgeting with it back and forth, and I said, you know, it's really not worth it for me to make my own. I'm going to go find some to buy so that I can do them. And I ran across Sharon Cooper and her Facebook group, Cross Stitch Journal, and she puts out a complete journal packet in any size format you want. And I believe she is in Great Britain, so it's $10, Great Britain, which came out to around $15 US. And I got all these pages, and there's tons of different pages to choose from. These happen to be just dividers that I handmade with some of my scrapbooking supplies. But there's a monthly tracker. There is calendars. You can see that. There's monthly calendars. There's another one. It's got like a page where you can write what your plans are for that month. There is a purchase page where you can keep track of your purchases, and Lord knows I need that because my purchases get out of control and I can't keep track of them. There is stitching records, so you can keep track of what you're working on. There is I can't show you that page, hold on. A directory where you can keep track of your stitchy friends. You can keep track of websites and all different things that you want to keep track of. And then she has, oh, this one, charts and magazines. If you have a lot of magazines, I have some magazines that I want to make sure I keep track of where the charts are that I want to do. And then she has checklists. So there's DMC checklists, there's weeks, there's GAST, there's another one. So different checklists and stuff, but lots and lots of pages to choose from in order to fill your planner the way you want to fill it, in all different types of formats. In regular format, this is a statement size or an A5 size, but tons of different sizes. Love, love, love it. Check her out. Look for her Facebook group. She's great to work with. She's very communicative, and love the pages. Once I got them printed out and everything, I'm going to love using that for Stitch Mania. Well, I think I'm going to cut this short for now. It's been almost 20 minutes and I've ranted on. Hopefully I'll try this again. We'll see. And I wish everyone a great stitchy day and that you enjoy it. And I will see you next time. Bye.